Okay, we're going to try this out. This is Catricide Cutlery's new head cam. It's a little Drift HD. Okay, going to have a look at my new line of knives, the utility line, which will be hopefully available most of the time off the shelf as I have time to make them. This is the latest two I've made. This is a Nakari and another 240mm one. I've gone over the geometry before. It's hollow from the bevel to the spine in this case. There's a definite apex to that. The apex of the hollow is about there, but it drops away from the back of that bevel to about there really, and then it's flattish from about there, but it very slightly dropping away. This is a 210mm. You know, the beauty of this is just the perfect working knife because you can keep that bevel perfectly flat without having to completely redo the finish. If you want to maintain a finish, so you constantly thin it and sharpen it. I mean, for this steel, this is it's very similar to AEBL or 13C. It's an improved version of 13C, 14C28N. It's just a bit more corrosion resistant. It's a beautiful steel. It's very, very fine grained. Takes an incredibly fine edge. I don't like to. It's easy to over polish it. It's best to leave it a bit toothy. I'll do some sharpening in a minute. But on the taper on the Nakari, it doesn't need to taper a lot. So you're talking about a very sturdy blade because you've got this, I don't know if you can see how thin that is behind there, but it's thin exactly where it wants to be. It does drop away slightly. It tapers about a mil and a half. The taper on the spine isn't so important because of this hollow. That has the effect that you want, and it leaves you with a really good, as opposed to it cuts like an extremely thin Nakari, but it's very solid feeling, and you've got that very easy to maintain geometry that just makes perfect sense where you're thinning all the time. You probably need a bit more setting. I might touch this one with a 5K as well and then take it back. That's pretty much there, but I'm just working that micro bevel. Because I've done a bit of a fancy polish on the bevel, and I mean, for working knife process, you just take that back with 1K, that bevel, and then just keep it at that. And then, yeah, not going to overstrop it, just a working. I mean, this steel, you can take it, it's very fine grained, perfect for razor blades, this type of steel. But as a result of the incredible fineness of the grain, you can easily take it too far for cooking purposes. So it's too polished, and you get that it will just fall through tomato. For a short while, but it quickly loses that incredible sharpness, whereas the 1K and just a little bit of a strop, or up to 5K, and you know, anything up to sort of 6, you know, whichever your favorite sort of stone for that type of finish is, for that running edge. I'm making a, what am I making? A stroganoff with steak, because I'm flash. Oh, it's just lovely. Let's just do a little tomato test before we go any further. They're quite hard tomatoes actually. That one's a bit softer, so it's a bit harder. So let's just see. Yeah, so it's just falling through. That is pretty much just falling through tomato. Okay, little tomato test after cutting a load of food. Very good. Just need to slice on that. Let's do an onion with this guy. You can see it's still very laser-like at the tip, even though you've got that thickness on the spine there. It's incredibly thin there because of the hollow face geometry. Hollow face. Shit onions, but very nice, if I do say so myself. I'm not a chef, I'm a blacksmith. So, but I do cook. They're falling apart, these. They're more like big shallots. Let's do another one. It's really nice. Just not, there's no flex on it, but it behaves like a very thin knife. That's really the first time I've finished this one completely today, so that's the first time I've used it.